Alright, we are officially less than 2 weeks away from Xbox's E3 press conference, coming to you live on Sunday, June 9th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am incredibly excited for this year's show, and finally my video is finished. This is my prediction, or as I'm calling it in the title, an Xbox E3 preview. These are the things that you can expect to see, spanning third-party games, first-party announcements, and the new services that Xbox will talk about this year. So let's get into it, shall we? What is going on, guys? Randall Thor19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everybody is having a great day. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more content. I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, in reality, it's really hard to predict everything that Microsoft is going to show. Just last year, they showed off over 50 games, had 18 exclusive titles, and 15 world premieres. So it's incredibly difficult to accurately predict the entire show, but that's what I'm going to try to do here. And we're going to start off with the third-party games and work our way into the first-party later on, because that's the most important. But I'm going to start with perhaps the biggest third-party game at E3, the one that brought the roof down at the end of Xbox's briefing when they hacked into it last year, and that is Cyberpunk 2077. And what I expect to see from this new trailer will be showing off the gameplay, and it's gonna look damn amazing. People are so excited for Cyberpunk 2077, considering most people consider The Witcher 3 game of the generation. But what's really gonna shock a lot of people is at the end of the trailer, they're gonna reveal the release date, and it'll be May of 2020. I can't wait. Next up, we also have a game that was at Xbox's E3 last year, and that is Dying Light 2. They're going to show off another gameplay trailer, and this one's actually going to have a release date at the end as well, and you'll be able to play Dying Light 2 January 2020. Next up, we have the first true surprise of the conference, a third-party game that is yet to be announced, but we think it will be there, and that is the collaboration between From Software and George R.R. Martin. Now, we've heard this has been rumored for quite some time, and Xbox's E3 is the show for it. You know, as a personal big fan of George's writings, I love Game of Thrones, and currently, with Sekiro being my game of the year, I am drooling with anticipation to see what they can come up with. From Software is an amazing developer. George's A Song of Ice and Fire is an incredible series, so to see the two kind of come together and clash and to create something special, be on the lookout for that game. Now, another surprise. Next up, we have Rocksteady's new game finally been showing off here. What has it been? 5 years since Arkham Knight. Everyone's been wondering, what are they working on? Is it Justice League? Is it the new Batman game? Is it Batman Beyond? Well, unfortunately, it is none of those. And this is Rocksteady's Suicide Squad, with James Gunn coming back to do a sequel or soft reboot of the franchise. Rocksteady is working on a Suicide Squad where you can play with up to 4 players in a melee kind of games-as-a-service combat brawler that is really reminiscent of Batman. And you know what? I know a lot of people are going to be a little bit disappointed that it's Suicide Squad and not Batman or Justice League, but Rocksteady has proven over the years that they are an incredible developer, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I can't wait to play that game in 2021. They won't say the release date, but yeah, it's a next-gen title. And of course, next up we have perhaps one of the biggest games of this fall, Borderlands 3. Randy Pitchford's going to come out on stage, give a little talk about the game, show off some more gameplay, and honestly, I'm just not that excited for this game. I know a lot of other people are, but it's going to be at Microsoft's stage. And Capcom, next up, they're going to come out, and I know a lot of people are thinking, ooh, what's Rand going to say? Dino Crisis reboot? Oh, I want that, but I don't think that's the case. Resident Evil 3 remake? I want that as well, after how amazing Resident Evil 2 was, but I don't think it's that. I think it's a little bit too early for both of those, so what I'm predicting here is a new game in the vein of Amnesia. That's right, no longer a reboot. This is a next-gen a minutia made from the ground up that's going to resemble Dark Souls. And you know what? I can't wait for it. And there's a reason why they remastered this game earlier this year. Cannot wait to see what that game is going to look like. Following a minutia, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I'm also a big fan of Respawn. We haven't really seen any gameplay yet from this title, and I really, really want it to be good. I want Respawn to kind of branch out and show that not only are they amazing at creating first-person shooters like Modern Warfare and Titanfall as well as Apex Legends, but give them anything like a melee combat action / game like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is supposed to be about, and they will excel at that. So I'm incredibly excited to see what the gameplay looks like for that title. Next up, Bethesda's going to take the stage. They usually show something every year at E3, and their big title for 2019 is going to be Doom Eternal. Now, we have only seen that gameplay demonstration when they officially revealed it. I think it was late last year. It looks incredible, and be prepared to see another 2-minute gameplay trailer with Bethesda plugging that they have their own press conference later in the night, very similar to what they did with Fallout 76 last year. This brings us to Square Enix. They're going to be there with showing off, finally, the gameplay of Avengers. Now, Avengers Endgame, biggest movie of all time, almost eclipsing Avatar, and it's kind of a missed opportunity that the Avengers game that's kind of supposed to tie in alongside it is nowhere to be found. But finally, they're going to take the stage, show off the gameplay, and hopefully bring down the roof, so to speak. And after Avengers, Ubisoft's going to be there, and normally this would be where I predict a brand new Splinter Cell, but that's not the case. I hear there's no Splinter Cell in production, which is disheartening, but they do have a bunch of new games coming out, and I think this one they're going to show off is Ghost Recon Breakpoint, a game that is coming out at the beginning of October. They've already kind of shown off some trailers, and I would expect to get another trailer there. Microsoft's own studio that they bought recently, Obsidian, their game will be presented here as well, The Outer Worlds. And the big announcement from that title not only will be the release date, which it will come in August. I think August 15th is right around where I expect it to land. But also the big announcement that it will be joining Xbox Game Pass on day one. So those are all the third-party games that I can think of off the top of my head that will be at Xbox's E3, but don't worry, there will be tons more of them, a lot of big surprises for games that we haven't even thought about. But before we get into the first-party games that I expect that Xbox is going to announce, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the services, the smaller things. Like I expect an ID at Xbox segment with a sizzle reel of like 10 to 15 titles. I expect a new trailer for Cuphead's delicious Last Course DLC, which will launch on the 2-year anniversary of the title, so later in September. I expect Playdead to finally show off the first look at their new game, the makers of Limbo and Inside, 2 of my favorite games of all time. So I expect that to be there as well. Moving on from ID at Xbox, we also have xCloud. I think xCloud will be a big part of this conference. Microsoft, of course, just saw a big competitor, Google, announce their Stadia platform earlier in the year. We read Phil Spencer's response, so we know that this is the time to show off your streaming solution. So I would expect there to be maybe a 10-minute demonstration going over how it all works, how they can basically run 3,500 native games with no work from the developers, and you can just easily play your Xbox games that you bought on the Xbox One or the 360 through backcompat to actually, be streamable to mobile phones. So I expect xCloud to be a large focus. And of course, there is Game Pass. Game Pass is going to be there. They'll have its own segment. They'll probably talk about the newly acquired games that they get launching day and date, like The Outer Worlds. I expect some other high-profile indie titles to join that list. Some newer games they'll probably mention joining soon will be like stuff like Metro Exodus, stuff that came out recently. And then I also think there'll be a kind of new addition to Game Pass, like a publisher portal. And just my prediction here, but they'll say that all of Bethesda's titles will be joining Xbox Game Pass, and their newer titles like Doom Eternal and Rage 2 will be joining 6 months after release, something along those lines. That's something people can look forward to, and another reason to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. So that brings us to the first party, the stuff that people really want to see. While the third party content is amazing, people want to tune in to see what Xbox is making exclusively for their own console. And first up, of course, Halo Infinite. It's going to be a big part of the show, but it's not just Halo Infinite, it is Halo Master Chief Collection. They'll give a release date for the first episode, and then also will tie into Game Pass because they're officially going to be announcing the release date of Game Pass on Windows 10. But as for Halo Infinite, they're going to show off a trailer of Master Chief and the campaign. It's going to be a real short segment trying to whet people's appetites for the game when at the end of the trailer it says, 2020 release. Then, of course, we have the Gears games. There's 2 of them they're going to be showing off. Gears Tactics, which will have a new trailer, show off a little bit more in-depth gameplay of that game, and they'll reiterate that it's coming to Windows 10 in early 2020 with an Xbox release sometime after that. But, of course, the big title is Gears 5. We're going to get a really in-depth gameplay reveal, like a 5 to 7 minute gameplay segment of the campaign showing off how it's changed, how it's more open world, and the release date will be September 10th. But there's more to Gears than that, right? There's also a multiplayer beta that will be starting in July, and they'll give details on how you can join that. And a custom Xbox One X to kind of celebrate the release of Gears 5 will be announced and shown off, and it'll probably look damn incredible because Xbox, they don't really make a lot of custom consoles that you can buy, but Gears will be one of those. Following up Gears, we have Ori and the Will of the Wisps, another great trailer, more gameplay. I cannot wait for this game, and the release date at the end of the trailer for that will be August 20th. And following up Ori and the Will of the Wisps, we have a new trailer for Forza Horizon's second expansion. Now, they're not going to be talking about Forza Motorsport because, as we know, the Turn 10 just moved over production onto the new game, so the Forza Motorsport 8 isn't going to be ready. But the big kind of release for Forza this year is the second expansion. And think small, but I don't mean small in a bad way, but it's going to be like Forza Horizon 4 Micro Machines or Lego Mini Cars. They usually do something kind of crazy with the second expansion, like Forza Horizon 3's Hot Wheels with the tracks and stuff. This year they're going to go and do it like Micro Machines, Lego Mini Cars. I can't even picture what it's going to be like, but that is the style it's going to go after. There's going to be a new trailer for Battletoads with actual gameplay so people can see what it's like, and that will be releasing early 2020. Finally, Ninja Theory is going to be taking the stage to show off their next game, and it's going to be releasing early 2020, sometime in March, and it is called Bleeding Edge. Now, there's some kind of talk and rumors about going around what this title might be. Is it a 4-player co-op sci-fi adventure game or a multiplayer arena combat brawler versus type experience? I think it is the later. I think it is a combat brawler. Think Overwatch, but melee combat with no single player. Now, I hope that is wrong. I hope there is a single player attached to it, but I'm not sure there is. But the game is real, and it will be coming out early next year. And after that, Microsoft is going to end the show similar to what they did in 2016 with the official reveal of the next-gen Xboxes, Xbox 2, whatever they want to call it. Who knows if we'll get a naming reveal, but Xbox Anaconda and Xbox Lockhart. Now, they won't mention Lockhart really at all other than saying they'll have a cheaper SKU for launch next year, but they're going to go really in-depth with the Anaconda. We won't see what it looks like. We probably won't get the naming, but Microsoft, just like Sony did a couple months ago, will go over the specs. They'll say that they want to keep the tag of being the most powerful console ever. And just when you think they're going to end the show on the reveal of this console, they're going to say, But you know what? We didn't want you to walk away without showing you what next generation looks like. And the trailer starts, and it's Playground Studios RPG, the new game that Phil teased last year, and it's Fable 4, and it looks absolutely incredible. Trailer's about 1 minute long, and that is how they end the show. I kind of went back and forth about Fable 4. Is it going to be there? Is it not going to be there? But you know what? Even though I want to say it's not going to be at the show, I'm letting the hype get the best of me, and that is how they're going to end the conference, by showing you next generation Fable. So there you go, guys. That is my E3 preview for Xbox. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you let me know what you think about all my predictions here, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this out on social media. Maybe tell a friend about the channel. I'd appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified immediately when I drop videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.